Hello! Let's go with future clowns. Clowns is a respected profession. We are going to go into using inputs into our functions or into our programs here. So, inputs don't work exactly the same way as they do in Python. This is gonna be a continuing thing, and I might sound like a broken record that they're different because they are. So I'm going to go back over to my tour. Let me duplicate this. I'm just going to call this input world, and we will call that right here. And I will now open this up. And now we are on input world. So inside of Java, there is not a built-in input. So what we use to find inputs is something called the scanner. So we need to call that because it is not something that comes into the base functions of Java. So we're going to use our import, just like we did in Python, import java.util, so a utility feature, and it is a scanner with a capital C. And we got to throw that in here. So when we compile this, we will now have our scanner function imported in here. Now there are two steps when we add something. This is what would be called a module in Python. It's sometimes called a component. It's sometimes called a library. So we now have this scanner, but we need to say that we are actually going to use this by creating a new scanner. So it's almost like we have added the file location where we're looking for it. So we added the function to our file, but now we need to call the function by creating a new one. So if we want to create a new one at the top, we're going to say scanner, because that's the name of our import right here. This is an extension of Java, and we want to name this. We can name this whatever we want. We want to make sure that it is something that we recognize. So I'm going to call this my input scan. And that's because we're scanning 4 inputs. And this is going to equal a new scanner. So that's a new scanner, and then we need to specify the type of scanner. This is a system.in, so a system input. So we're using scanner. The name of the scanner is input scan, and it is a new type of scanner that uses the system in. So if I wanted to call this, I am not going to, before we would name a variable our input, we actually use this slightly different. So I am going to go to my system.out.println, and I am going to throw in here, enter your name. And I will close that all up, throw my semicolon. So now we have system.out.println. We're going to have enter name. Now we are going to call string. We're naming a variable right here. We're going to say that my name. We're using camel case for our variables, which is lowercase than uppercase. We use that for variables. We don't use that for classes. So we now have my name, and this is going to equal our input scan and dot next line. So what this is looking for is our next line of code. So enter your name, ... It's going to be the next line, whatever we use. Then we can close that up. So now we have enter your name. We are going to call my name, input.scan, the next line, whatever we type in there, and then we can add that into our print statement. So we're going to call our system out again. So system.out.println, and we can say hello, comma, throw in our quotation marks, enter, and we called this variable my name, hit the plus, close it up, throw in an exclamation mark. We're excited to see this person, throw in our semicolon. And now if we read through this, we added a scanner function up at top. We called and named that scanner. We are now going to ask to enter your name. We are going to take whatever the next line is typed in there, and we are going to print my name. All right, so we are going to compile this. Looks like it's all good. I can go over input world is the name of the function, and I'm going to run the main void. All right, so once again, we can see on the terminal, we have our previous ones. We have hello world, hello Mr. Forberg, enter your name, and you can see down here, the cool thing about BlueJ is that it has this nice spot to enter data into our program. So we are going to use the name Mr. Gobble. So we'll say hi to Mr. Gobble. Hello, Mr. Gobble. So enter your name, whatever was written on this line, we are going to add that into our input. So that is how we add inputs using the scanner inside of BlueJ, inside of Java, and just with strings. We'll get to integers and doubles later. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.